Hi, my crafty friends and family. This is Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today we are going to make a shelf sitter. Now, I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. It's pretty heavy, pretty thick, and it's kind of hollow in the back. We're going to use the front side, and I'm going to Mod Podge this sheet music onto it, and we're going to use the iron method to that. So we want to go ahead and get started on that. So I have my Mod Podge. I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to pour some on here. You want it on there a pretty good bit. You especially want to make sure you get it around the edges. Now, the paper is thick enough so that this design doesn't show through too badly. It does show through a little bit, but you can't really tell what it is or anything like that. So I'm okay with that. Now, I do want to make sure that I get this around the edges really well. And too, it looks like the original design goes around the edge a bit. So I probably want to see if I can do that with this here too, with the paper I'm putting on here. And again, this is just a piece of sheet music that I got. I got the booklet from, I think it was Texas, yeah, the Texas thrift store. And I paid like 35 cents for the booklet. I haven't seen any since then. I look, but I don't ever see any. So if you have like a music store or a kid that's in band or something, then you might be able to pick up some of those music sheets. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this on top of it. And I want mostly my music stanzas or whatever you call them to be seen. So I'm just putting this around the edge a little bit. And then I'm going to go over it with my iron. Now I go over it with my iron while it's wet. I know other crafters do it once it's dry. I tried that. I really didn't have too much luck with that. So I'm doing it while it's wet. So the iron will actually dry it a little bit. And you don't want steam. You want it off steam. It's just a regular iron. I have it off steam and on the highest setting, which is linen. You want to be sure when you're putting your hand on here that you're not burning yourself. And I can see the design coming through a little bit clearer on this, but I'm thinking once it's dried, maybe it won't. I don't know. But I don't think it's enough to worry about. So I'm going to try to go around the edge here a little bit because I do want it, the design, the original design is around the edge a bit. So I want my design to do that too, because otherwise it's going to show through. I'm just kind of ironing the edge down. So this paper is a little bit thinner than what it would be if you were using scrapbook paper. You know, some of the scrapbook paper is pretty thick, and what I get normally is too. So this paper is a little bit thinner than that. So I am seeing more wrinkles than normal, but it is getting it down pretty good. I still prefer this method of Mod Podging than to just putting it on there and letting it dry, because you do get a lot of wrinkles. So I'm just going to set my iron aside, and then I'm going to trim this up. So I just want to trim up the edges so they're out of my way. And then I'm going to use my sanding block. Now, I don't know how this is going to work since I did want this to go around the edge here, but we will see. We'll see how that's going to work. Because I don't know. You can see that I'm getting this a little dirty, so I'm going to be taking a wipe to it. Let me get one out here. I do have some glue on my hand here, so we'll see what happens. Seems to mostly be on the ends, the corner. You see how that's doing that? We'll have to clean that up. We can pull this off. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Well, it looks like we can just kind of peel this off a little bit. Let's keep going here on this edge. So I'm just going to take my wipe and try to get some of this dark off of here. And what it is, it's part of the Mod Podge, actually. And when I thought this was off of there, but it's not. So that's coming off pretty good. So as you can see, there's usually, and maybe what we should do is wait until your Mod Podge completely dries before you sand it. Of course, you know, on the taping of this, we have to go along with it and keep going. But yeah, just make sure it's dry before you sand it. And that way you're not going to get your Mod Podge is not going to make a mess. Okay, so I see there's more paper on here, and I just want to try to get some of that off. Okay, I'm just going to go around the edges a bit. Just kind of distress it. Go around the whole block. think that's pretty good. So I'm just going to wipe that off with my hands. This is a little rough right here, so I'm just going to go over that a little bit. Let's see, not much. Was better. Go along the top of the edges. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And it actually looks like this paper came on this. That's how nice it looks. So here we have our music sheet on our surface. So let me clean this up a little bit. And we'll do our stenciling. And then we'll put everything together. Pull my iron down. Get it out of the way. Okay. So I think I'm just going to go over the top of this just a little bit. Okay. All right, now I also want to make some flowers to put on here. And we're just doing paper flowers from an old book. So I have this old book here from my son's room, and he's in his 30s, so it's definitely time for me to clean up his room. And I want eight of these rounds with the scalloped edges to make a big flower. So I have 2 pages here, and I'm going to feed that through. I'm going to push it through my hole punch and see how that did that perfectly. This is a 3.5 inch round with scallop edges. I got it from Hobby Lobby when they were 50% off. It is pretty expensive if you don't get it when it's 50% off. So just remember that. And we're actually going to do 2 different sizes of flowers. So you want 8 of these. 8 of these large ones in a 3.5 inch, and then you want 16 of the 3-inch ones, and it's the same, it's round with scalloped edges. And the reason we want 16 for these is we're going to do 2 small flowers and 1 large flower. So we have our pieces together, and I'm just going to set those aside. What the heck happened here? Okay, let me put that in the water. I need to clean out my Mod Podge. I must have had some leftover paint on my brush from when I was doing a previous video where I used black acrylic paint. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stencil. And the stencil I'm using today is from a Maker Studio. I'm so sorry. It's from Magnolia Design. And if you want to see any of the products there, go to lizyonke.magnoliadesignco.com. And we're going to use this stencil here, and it comes 2 in a pack. And the name of the stencil pack is All Things Are Possible. So we're not going to be using this one here, which says, with God, all things are possible, Matthew 19:26. We're going to use this one here, which is Ephesians 2:8. For it is by grace that you have been saved. And isn't that true? It's nothing that we've done in and of ourselves, but it is by grace that we have been saved. And I want to get my fuzzy matte because I don't think I've used this stencil before, or if I have, I've only used it one time. So I'm going to put it on my mat probably 3 times before I put it on my surface. So can you see how sticky that is? These stencils are adhesive and they are reusable. And if you take good care of them, you can use them over and over and over and over. And they're totally worth the price that you pay if you make several designs with it. Okay, so I want it more down towards the bottom of my surface. So I'm just going to line up the bottom, and then I'm going to see where my G is and where my E is, and it looks good. So I'm just going to smooth this down, and here I have it on my surface. And I'm going to be using the Coal Black chalk paste. I will put links to the stencil pack and the chalk paste in the description for the video. And that's on YouTube, which is, my channel is Liz Yonke, and on Facebook it is Liz's Crafts, and I also put the videos on Liz's Craft Friends, Liz's Craft Friends, which is a group. So if you like what I do here, please do this, either on Facebook or YouTube. I would appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. And you can just go through and look at any of the videos. I have tons of craft videos out there. And if you do decide to make something, I would love to see a picture of what you make. And you can share that on Liz's Craft Friends. And it is a closed group, but the way you get admission to that group is you go to Facebook, you search for Liz's Craft Friends. When that comes up, there's 2 questions you have to answer. If you answer yes to both questions, then I will approve you for membership. And if you're watching me on Liz's Craft page in Facebook, please turn on your like and follow, turn on your notifications so that you know when I put new videos out there. And my videos go out there each weekday. That's Monday through Friday at 11:30 Central Time. And if you do decide, like I said, to make a craft from any of the videos that I have out there, I would love to see a picture of it. Now I'm putting the chalk paste on the stencil with a squeegee, and this is just a piece of the squeegee. They come a little bit bigger. This is about 1/3 of how big they are, and you can cut them apart to more manageable sizes. If you have smaller stencils, then you want to use a smaller squeegee because you can just control it a lot better than using a huge one or a big one on a small stencil. Okay, and this is going to be a shelf sitter. It's just a piece that I got from Hobby Lobby when it was marked way down. And once we get our stencil on it, we get our flowers on it, I'll take a picture of it. I'll put it on Liz's Craft page and Liz's Craft Friends. And you guys can look at it and see what you think. Okay, we're ready to take our stencil off. Doesn't that look good? Oh, I love this. So I'm putting my stencil face down in the water, and then I'm swishing it around so that the chalk paste does not settle in the screen portion of my stencil and clog the design. So, and like I said, as long as you take care of your stencils, you can use them over and over and over. So we have the Ephesians 2:8 up here. And then you have your For It Is by Grace, You Have Been Saved. So we're going to set this aside, and then we're going to work on the flowers. So I really like doing these type of flowers here. They're one of my favorites, and I just love them. So like I said, we're going to make one big one and then 2 little ones. So the only thing you need are your cutouts, your hot glue gun, and then some beads. And I use the 12mm beads. These are glass beads that I got from Fire Mountain Gems. I believe they do have these in Hobby Lobby. They have little nubs or whatever on them. They're different colors. They're 12mm, and I use them for the middle of my flowers. And I'm going to get out these gray ones. See, I'm going to use, there's a lighter gray and there's a darker gray. So I'm going to use the lighter gray, and since I'm making 3 flowers, I'm going to get 3 of the beads out. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to decide which of these is going to be the top part of your flower, because that's what you're going to see a lot of. So you want it to be a page that you like. Like, you wouldn't want this one to be on the top. Not on this side anyway. So I'm thinking this one here would be good for the top. So it's going to be my last one to put on there. And I have 3 of these that the edge wasn't completely cut out, and I wanted to go ahead and use them. Let's see. And I'm going to put those kind of in the middle. So you just put a dot of glue in the center. Okay, I think this is not one of those. I thought there were 3. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was only 2. No, here it is. So I'm putting a good one, a bad one, a good one, and a bad one. Not that it's bad, but you know what I mean. So I'm just stacking them in. You want 8. You want 8 of these. I mean, you could probably do 1 or 2 less or 1 or 2 more. I use 8. That's what I use. Okay, and now I'm going to glue one of these beads in the center, and I'm just going to do it with the whole side up. You don't have to do it with the whole side up. Other ones I have done, I did not do the whole side up, but I'm doing it with these. Okay, so you want it to adhere for a little bit, so I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to take your very first cutout right here, put your fingers up underneath it, and then you're just going to scrunch it up. These are my favorite flowers. So you're just scrunching it up just like that. And you want to do that with each of the 8 cutouts. Now the very last one, I do it a little bit different, and I'll show you when we get there. So this is what we have so far, and we still have several layers to finish up here. You're just squishing it into the center. Now I have made these flowers before where I do 4 of the large cutouts and then 4 of the small cutouts. put the 4 large ones on the bottom and the 4 small ones on the top, and those make really cute flowers too. Okay, so we're down to our last cutout. So the way I do it is I hold it upside down. I just make a circle with my thumb and my middle finger, and I just press it in like that, and then I scrunch it. And then what you want to do is you want to open it up. And you want to find that bead. So you want the layer where you had the bead in there. So it's just like this. Isn't that cute? So that's going to be, I'm going to put that right here in the center of our project here. And then I'm going to make 2 smaller ones and put it on either side. So I'm going to set that aside and go ahead and work on these. So again, you want to decide which of these you want to be your center. Now, if it has blank space on it, you want that to be on the underneath side. Like this one, I wouldn't want to use this side. Well, I guess I have to because this side is totally blank. So I want it to be one of the middle pieces. And this one is a good one. This one's a good one to be on the outside front part. I want this side of this one. This side of this one either side, and this one either side. Okay, so this is going to be my top one. This will be one of my bottom ones. Again, you're just putting a dot of glue in the center, and then you're just putting the next layer on until you have all 8 layers glued together. It is a really simple flower to do, but I think it's beautiful. It's my favorite. Okay, and then here's my last piece. And then I want to glue my bead on. So I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds. And then again, do the same thing that we did with the large flower, we're going to do with the small one. Put our fingers up underneath here and squish it up. And you want to do each layer separately, because that way you're not scrunching it all the same. And then they're going to look a little bit different when you open it up. I haven't done these flowers in a while, so I'm kind of glad I'm getting back into it because I really enjoy them. And like I said, I will put the links to the chalk paste and the stencil in the description of the video. And if you decide to buy any of the products, please use my links, as I do get a little percentage, and that will just help me to buy more craft supplies so that I can make these videos for you all. So I'm down to the last one, and I'm turning it upside down here, taking my middle finger and my thumb, pressing it down like this, squeezing it, and then we're going to open it up. Just like we did the other one. So here we have 2 of our flowers. And now I want to make the last one. So with this one here, it's a little bit different in that it has like a map on it. I want that to be the top piece because I kind of like it. You know what? I think I want this one to be it because it kind of shows a compass on it. So I'm going to do this one here. Do it like that. So this will be my top. This can be my bottom here. Again, just a drop of glue in the center, and then you just glue them all on top of one another until you have all 8 of them glued on. And then the last one, and then you want your bead on there. So I put a little bit more glue down for the bead. And then I'm just going to hold it here for a few seconds before I start scrunching up my paper. Okay. Just putting your fingers underneath it, bringing it up, and scrunching it. That's all there is to it. Very easy. You want to get your glue hairs out of there. Okay, now I'm down to my last one. Again, I'm turning it upside down, taking my middle finger and my thumb, going around it and squishing it, and then I'm going to start opening it until I get back to where my bead is. Isn't that pretty? So I have these 2 small ones and then this larger one. And then we want to get our project here, should be dry. Yes, good and dry. And so we want to go ahead and put our flowers on it. So I want the big one in the center. And I'm hoping, yeah. So I'm just putting some glue on the bottom of the big one. I want to try to figure out where the center is. Just holding it down a little bit. And then I want to do one of the small ones on the side. And then we'll do the small one on the other side. Get these glue hairs out of the way. Isn't this cute? I love this. I will take a picture of it on sitting up, and I'll put it on Liz's Crafts and Liz's Craft Friends. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so, and that's Liz Yonke. And if you haven't liked and followed Liz's Crafts, please do so and turn on your notifications so that you'll know when I put new videos out there. I'm not able to go live due to my internet service. But what do you guys think? Over here is where it's talking about Ephesians 2:8, and it says, "For by grace you have been saved," and it's just a shelf sitter. Or you could hang it on the wall. So you could do either with this. Okay, well that's all I have for today, and I'll see you back in another video, my crafty friends. And until then, keep crafting. Love you all. Bye.